Hey, Kelly Staggs here, American Irrigator. Trying to make you a better irrigator. Consider subscribing, that way you don't miss any tips. In this video I'm going to show you and kind of give you an idea and a tip that if you've got a situation where you're not exactly sure where to place a head or what heads to use, there's a way to help you figure it out, and it's a way that you can test different types of heads before you go install a whole big old system. Now what we've got here, I don't know if you can see behind me, I've got all this area here behind me is actually a big berm. And so trying to water a berm and not have a lot of runoff but still get a good water can be kind of hard. And so I've had a hard time trying to decide and really to figure out which is going to be the best way to do it, because there's really a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways are going to be good, but I want to find out what is going to be the best way. And so here's kind of a little tip, a little idea that you can use, and I'm going to show you what I've got here. And what I did is I kind of mocked up. I've got just a regular pop-up, 4-inch pop-up, but this is a Hunter, and I've got an MP on it, and that's what I think I want to use, but I'm not real sure if it's going to work the way I want it to work in this case. But I made up a head, I put a little swing joint on it, and then I put this female hose thread fitting on there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook a hose to this and then turn it on and see what's going to happen. It'll give me an idea of how this nozzle and head is going to spray if I place it in different areas. And so let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm kind of walking up this berm here, and it's right next to a softball field. They just put turf in this field, so one of the things we don't want to do is spray any water on that turf. My first idea was, let me kind of bend down, you can see my flags. First idea was to stick these MPs right here on top, let it spray both sides. We're going to do one row, and that's all they wanted to do. But then when I started thinking, I don't know that I want any water spraying back towards this turf. And so I don't know if this one's going to work, spray too far or not far enough. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a ditch up here, right here where I'm going to put a head. You can see that flag kind of laying over there. I'm going to put a ditch, and I'm going to actually put this in, cover it up, ground level. And I'm going to hook a hose to it and turn it on and see what happens. But then one of my other ideas is I'm going to also do one down here on the bottom side and have it just spraying up and see what that's going to do. And then I'm also going to change this out and put a rotor head on there, a Rainbird 5004, put it in there and see what's going to happen. So let's try some of this and see what we can figure out. All right, so what we've got here is I put this head in. Whoa, we're getting sprayed. Get right here. So what I did is I dug a little trench, set that head to where I want it to be, and you can see I tied my hose in. I had it on a swing joint, so I raised that up. But now I can actually turn this on and see what it's going to do. This is a good, simple, easy way just to, let's test some things out. We want to pick the right thing. And actually, I'm glad I did this and didn't just go put all this stuff in, because this is spraying from where I'm at on top of this berm. This water's shooting up. It's actually spraying about 5 feet into that brown warning track area of the turf. So this right here is not going to work. So we're going to move this to a different area and try it there. So now this was my other kind of proposed area to put my row of heads. And I've still got an MP 3000 on there. And actually I pulled it off 5 feet from this fence. That way it's actually pulled away from the fence. I can adjust it to come back towards the fence, but this is all sloping down anyway. So it's gonna end up getting some water anyway. And then I have the head angled a little bit at a slope, but I can see what it's doing. And it's watering great. It actually is shooting over the berm and landing about 10 feet on the other side. And I do have a little bit of a wind that's behind it, so it is pushing it a little bit further. And so if the wind was going from the other direction, it wouldn't go as far. But I actually don't mind that right there. But I'm going to try one more thing, and let's see what happens with it. Okay, this is my last test. Walking up here, now what I did, switched out the 4-inch pop-up with an MP rotator on it, and I put a Rainbird 5004 rotor head on it. Same type of setup, trying it out now. I've got a number 4 nozzle But I'm trying it, and it actually, at the angle that I've got it, I still got it kind of level with the angle here. It actually shoots with the little bit of the wind way past the bottom of the other side of this berm, which is kind of good because I can almost water the entire berm, front and back side, with this one head. Whereas with the MP, it didn't quite reach that far. But this is a good way. Just, you can actually I'm able to try a few different things and see what it's going to look like, and then make my decision on what I want to use after testing this out. And I like the way that this rotor is actually, this 5004 is working versus the MP. Now, the reason I did all this is because I've got this slope here we're dealing with, and we can't have any water coming back on to this field. And so this is a very technical, specific area that we've got to make sure we want to water this, but we want to make sure we don't have too much water where it's running back into the field, but where it's enough to shoot and water this berm. And so that's kind of why I wanted to test some things out and see before we went in and ditched the whole entire thing, put the whole job in, turned it on, decided we didn't like it. So if you've got an area like this that you're not real sure what you want to do, man, try a few things before you go putting a whole bunch of stuff in and you end up not liking it and having to redo it. So just mock you up one, try it, try a few different ideas, and then let it run a while and see what it's going to do. That way, when you decide exactly what you want to do and what looks the best and what works the best, you can go throw that in. Man, you know it's going to work and it's going to be good. And another thing you can check is how far it's going to spray. And so I know pretty much how far these usually go, and I know how far apart I usually like to put them. But in this case, I'll just, hey, let's mark it. And so when this rotor comes around, I put a flag over there where the spray actually stopped. And I'm going to measure that and see how far that is. And that actually might be a good indication in this exact location of how far I should space these out.